folks. It is Monday, May 1st. How's everybody doing? The start of Stitch Mania, or as I'm calling it, Mini Mania, because I got practically nothing I'm doing because I work on big old projects. So I'm starting a couple. We'll talk about that. Today I've got a little bit of everything as usual. I had quite a few Q&As from my last full video, so I'm going to go through those as quickly as I can. And then I'm going to show you some of my finished works. I had a couple of special requests and a teeny tiny bit of haul. I'll look at my WIPS for last month, which isn't much. May plans, and a couple other small things, and a awesome, unbelievable rack that I received. So I'm going to do that right after the Q&A, I think, because I don't want anybody to miss it at the end, because I know a lot of people don't watch to the end. Mine end up being really long, even when I don't have that much to say. I guess I'm a rambler. Okay, Q&A. Kingdom of Books. Teresa Spear asked me where she could find this pattern. I can't really see, but so down here is the end of that. That's the last book. And so I've got all of that to do, but I've made some progress. I've finished that green book and I did the tops to these two. This is my travel piece. I only work on it when we're traveling, so it's going to take a while, but it's a nice one to take along. I can use it with my travel magnifiers really well. Yeah, so Teresa asked where she could find that kit, and I bought it off eBay, but there's also an Etsy store. Her name is Elena Moscow, and I know she sells it, and I've heard that there's somebody else on Etsy that sells it that's in the United States, so that might be a little bit cheaper on the shipping. I don't know. I think you could probably just search for Kingdom of Books, both in Etsy and in eBay, and compare prices and shipping and see what you can find. Let's see. I'm gonna butcher this name. Ita A asked me what the size of my Kingdom of Books fabric is, and I wasn't sure whether she meant the dimensions of the fabric or the count. So the count is, I switched out the Ada from the kit. This is 28 count Lugana, which is my favorite. And the actual dimensions of the piece that I have, I measured it last night, it's 17 by 36. Now, I'm going to have quite a bit left on the top and the bottom, so I think you could, if you weren't doing the background, you could make it a little bit smaller that way, but the width is going to be pretty much spot on for framing. So yeah, that was 17 by 36. Okay, one down. Christine Lorino wanted to know the name of my Halloween pattern, and it's called Midnight Brew, and it is by Autumn Lane Stitchery. And you know, I don't even remember where I got this. I don't know, and I don't want to crinkle everything here, but Let me see if the pattern has like a website or something. Oh, it's got a Facebook page that is Autumn Lane Stitchery, all one word. And they also have an Etsy shop that's Cassie's Needle Minders. Oh, Cassie's Needle Minders. So check them out. It's going to be so cool. Did I show you the needle minder that I got for this? I think I did, but I'm going to show you again. Love it. Love it, love it. And I still love my fabric. All right. Let's see. Janice Mason, I'm sorry. She asked about my LNS here in Tucson, and asked if the name of it was the West. And somebody else had asked about, oh no, that's something else, never mind. Yes, it is, because they're the only game in town, basically. I am, however, planning a road trip once something else is delivered to me, up to the Attic Needlework Shop in Mesa, which is about a little over 2 hours away. So it'll be a day's road trip for me, because I got to check it out. I've seen too many pictures and I need to be there. Let's see. She also asked, Janice also asked, what count fabric is good for this sulky 12 weight floss. I did a short little video giving my opinion on this. I still think it's about equal to 1.5 strands of DMC. The coverage, I tried it on 32 count. The coverage was okay. But I bet on 36 count it would work really well. So I would give that a try. Try it for yourself. You can buy, just one of these, and for a couple bucks, and try it out. You never know. It might be, that's my personal opinion, it might be just fine. The coverage might be just fine for you, which they're really pretty colors. I'm going to use some of these, actually. I know I'll use them. I just haven't quite decided on what yet, but they are beautiful stitched up. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, and Shelly, the Small Town Stitcher, commented about my threads hanging on my little towel rack invention and asked if my kitty bothers them. And I was a little concerned about that. She totally ignores it. She walks right under it. Who knew, There's other things that I would never think that she would bother with, that she just gets obsessed with. But the threads, she's not bothering at all. Chris Arlington asked me what my favorite magnifier is. I have two. I have this one. It's a floor magnifier that I use here at home all the time. It just makes life so much easier for me. And then when I travel, because I always take a travel project, where did it go? Mag Eyes. Best invention ever. And the best part of these is, now I wear them up like this. A lot of people wear them around like that, but I prefer them up like this. The best part of these, I gotta tell you, is wearing them in public and embarrassing the crap out of your husband. He walked away from me in the Fort Lauderdale airport when I put these on. He pretended, he literally pretended he didn't know me. Nobody else cared. He was the one that was bothered by it. So now I do it at every possible opportunity. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Cross Stitch Addict and Martha Thompson both asked the name of my new framer here in Tucson. His name is Frank Garcia, and he doesn't have a shop per se. He works out of his house. So he is up at the West, my needlework store, which is at the corner of River and Craycroft. He's up there every Thursday at 12:15. And you can just bring, you don't have to make an appointment or anything. You can just bring your stuff in and talk to him about it, and he'll work with you over the phone, over the internet. I'm sure that once he took it and worked with it, he could send you pictures of possible frames and mats and that, but really, really nice guy. And I was pleased with the framing he did on my Santa's Village, and the price I thought was, the final price was less than what he quoted me, which was quite unusual. So what I will do, I don't really feel comfortable giving out his email or his phone number here. So I will private message both of you, Cross Stitch Addict and Martha Thompson, and give you his email and his phone number. He said, he told me I could pass on his information, but I don't feel comfortable putting it out here for the world. So I will do that later today. Let's see. Okay. Teresa Heartsong asked if I had seen the black cat patterns at Heaven and Earth Design. Oh yeah. I have one all kitted. I have the mini Witching Hour. It's the black kitty that looks just like Princess. With the books in the background and the candle, I think it's going to be gorgeous. And it's a mini, which I'm starting to really love the minis because I can actually see myself finishing them. And that's by Lisa Parker. She's got great black cat patterns, designs. So check her out. Carmel asked me, I had mentioned a chatelaine that I had ordered another chatelaine kit, and she asked which one I ordered, and I wish I had it to show you, but it's not here yet. It's been a month. I know sometimes it takes longer, but I want it. I ordered the Ireland mandala, the one with the ponies. It's got cute little 1/1 ponies and puppies. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm waiting, excuse me, I'm waiting to get that before I go up to the attic in Mesa so that I can hopefully find fabric for that at the same time, along with fabric for Frosty Knot Garden, which I already have the kit for. I've had that kit for at least a year. But I think I need to have that one all with the fabric and everything all ready to go too, because you never know. You never know when you might need to start one of those. When you might have the desire for specialty stitches and tons of beads. And Carmel also asked if I used a laying tool. No, I never have. I looked at them at my LNS a couple of days ago, and I was tempted to buy one, but I just don't know whether I would really use it, you know, because I get into a rhythm, and I don't know. I may just break down and buy one of these days and give it a shot. I'll let you know if I do. Let's see. Joan Clark and somebody else God, I had a lot of questions. Maybe I just don't explain myself well. Ginger Habishaw asked about the thread drops. These. Asked where I got them and what the brand name was. I got these at my LNS, and their brand name is Access Commodities. There's a website, but I don't believe that they sell to the public. I think that's just a wholesale distributor kind of a thing. So 123 Stitch, last time I looked, did not carry these. Somebody else did, and I can't remember. Someplace online. Might have been ABC Stitch Therapy. I'm not sure. But anyway, they're called thread drops. There's 40 of them in a package, and they come with the ring. And my LNS sold them for $6.50, so a little pricey. But you know, you might even be able to find them on eBay. I don't know, but so anyway, that's where I got those. Joan Clark asked me what I would use that variegated thread for, the sulky. I really have no idea yet. I am working on the Coffee Quaker, and I'm doing it in all kinds of different colors. I'll show you that in a minute. But I might use this for a couple of the motifs, smaller motifs. I'll have to try it and see. Anyway, that's my first thought about what I'm going to use this for. Sharon Williamson asked about Santa's Village and how many stitches I left between the houses, and how many rows did I leave between the 2 rows of houses. So let's find out. I think I left there's a total of, it looks like 4 stitches between every house. Like, am I going to be able to do this without dropping something? Like between Santa and Mrs. Claus and between these 2 houses, it looks like it's 4. Which I think is what was on the pattern. If each individual pattern had like 2 stitches at the end where nothing was stitched, and I think that's what I did. I just went along with that. And then between here and here, right there, that's between the 2 houses, or the 2 rows, there's just 2 stitches between there and the row of red and white. So, and the other thing I did, just so people know, and I'm sorry about the glare, but I really, when you're looking at the snow down here, which was a bitch, by the way, say like right here where you had the 2 ends of the house, you ended this house and then you went to this motif, they would have the snow end down here, and it'd go down a couple of rows, and then on this side it would go up. And I just went through and I straightened all those. I added some stitches on all of them so the snow was the same all the way across. So yeah, I hope that answered your questions, Joan. That was that. And that was that. Okay, I think that's about all of the questions except for one. And Arlene Grimm asked me what my former profession was before I retired. And I worked in the San Francisco Bay Area in the East Bay, Well, I started working when I worked in when I first started working, I worked in San Francisco for the Justice Department for 10 years. And then the commute got to be too much from the East Bay. So I moved companies and I started working for the East Bay Regional Park District, which there are no county parks in Alameda and Contra Costa counties. There are East Bay Regional Parks, and it encompasses, it's over 100,000 acres in those two counties now. They put out a calendar every year, so I brought out my calendar, and I just thought I'd show you a couple of pictures of some of these places, because a lot of people have no idea that there's these kinds of places in an urban area like that. So this first one, which got their cover this year, is Sunol Regional Wilderness. And this is Sycamore Valley Regional Open Space, which is in the Danville area. I know I've got some people from the East Bay that watch here. I'll just show you some of the scenery ones. This is Coyote Hills in Fremont. And, Lake Chabot in Castro Valley. Of course, for a lot of years, they were really brown. But, look at the kitty. They're coming back. In fact, they had some of their campgrounds and some of their parks were inundated with rain. Their picnic areas and campgrounds had 10 feet of water. So they're coming back from that. Here, this is a good one. Miller Knox Regional Shoreline in Richmond with San Francisco in the back. Wonderful place. So yeah, us former employees, us retirees are pretty proud of them. So anyway, I worked there, and what I did, I started out as the secretary in the finance department. That's where I started. I worked there for a couple of years, and then I got a promotion to work directly for the elected 7-member board of directors. And it's kind of hard to explain for people that don't know local government, but I was like the equivalent of a city clerk. I took minutes at meetings, I organized their schedules, I took care of my bosses, my seven bosses plus the general manager. And they were all elected every 4 years, so I ran the elections with the county elections offices and did all that kind of stuff. Lots of meetings, lots of minutes. So, very high-stress job. Stayed longer than I should have. It was past time for me to retire. Very happy now. So anyway, that's what I did, and I think that is all the questions. One more. Shauna, 77 Stitches, asked where she was having trouble finding the Fiberlicious website. She has a Facebook page that is entitled Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers, I believe. And she also has a website that is the same, fiberliciousyummyfibers.com. And that's all one word. However, just so you know, the end of April, she closed her shop temporarily. She is moving from California back to New York, I believe. So she is going to be closed the whole month of May. And then we'll reopen once she's all back on the East Coast and established. So check out her page and keep checking, because she will give updates and let us know when she's going to reopen. Her stuff is great. It's great. So, yeah. Miss you, Gwen. Alrighty. I think that was all the questions. If I forgot anything, I'm sorry. Please holler at me if I did. So let's do my itty bitty haul. I bought 2 big patterns. This is from La Di Da. It's called Humble and Kind. You can't really see very close, but it says stay humble and kind up there. I'm going to change those words. So it's not change the words, but change the floss. So it's a little darker. You can see it. That phrase has some real special meaning to my husband. So I'm going to do this for him for Christmas. It's quite small. It's only 119 by 89, so I should be able to do that before Christmas and get it framed secretly for him, because I can just put this one in a hoop and hide it and work on it when he's not here. And then the other one I got, I just could not resist. We have a 3.5-year-old grandson who I've never been able to find something appropriate to stitch for. I stitched something 2 years ago for his big sister, and I've never been able to find something for Max. Well, I found this, and it's perfect for a 3.5-year-old little boy who wants to be a front loader driver when he grows up. Isn't that great? So, and I love the colors. Now, my only thing is, I think I'm going to take out the tank and put his name there, like on a diagonal. What do you guys think? I don't know. The tank doesn't quite go with the heavy equipment. That's what I'm thinking anyway. But isn't that cute? And I love the colors. He's going to love this. His mom and dad are going to have to look up all those different kinds of trucks so that he can learn what kinds they are, their proper names. Yeah. They'll thank me. Okay, that was all my haul. Pitiful. I'm still waiting for my Irish Mandala kit. I don't feel like I can buy anything else until I get that. Hoping it'll be in the next couple weeks. Okay, let's do, my rack. Oh my Lord. So after my last regular video where I was talking about my project bags and how I had a problem figuring out, what was inside, and I had made these little things which work really well. I got an email, or I got a note from somebody on my video saying, Deborah, can I have your address? I want to send you something. And I've never talked to this lady before. I know she's watched my videos, but so I'm sorry, Mavis, I checked her out to make sure she wasn't a stalker or anything. And I sent her my address. And about a week and a half later, I get a package in the mail from her from, is it Amarillo? Amarillo, Texas, I believe. And she has sent me 4 handmade by her project bags. 4 of them. I've already used them. And they're the ones with the plastic on the outside. Look at these. Look at this. See that? They're perfect. And I have this one. I have all my threads. I have my patterns, fabric, everything, the whole thing. And it would fit a Q-snap or a hoop too. Look at that. And they're all lined with different fabric. I shouldn't have used all of them, so, but you can see. So there's one. And they are sewn so well. Mavis, man, you know how to sew, girl. And so this one is like that. Aren't they beautiful? I have to admit, when I opened the bag and saw what it was, there might have been some tears. Just beautiful. And each one has a little fob on the zipper thing. And then this is the last one. It's like that, with the little fob. Aren't they beautiful? I'm just absolutely stunned, Mavis. Beautiful stitching. I will, as you can see, I'm already using them. Man, you should sell these things. I would buy them. Thank you. Thank you so much. I didn't know quite what to say. I was really very touched and overwhelmed with your generosity. Yeah. Thank you. I've already talked to her, but I wanted to make sure she got proper credit. And she also told me what she used for this pattern. The pattern that she used was a tutorial by, is it Dina? I think it's Dina. Dina Brown Sherwood. And I looked her up on YouTube. Her name is Making Life Count. I've never watched her, but I'm gonna now, because I might actually even try to make some of these. I love this. And it doesn't look super complicated. I don't know. I've never had much luck with zippers. But I'm going to watch her tutorial. So check her out. These are really nice. And thank you again, Mavis. I'm just, the only word I have is overwhelmed. So I wanted to make sure and get that in here fairly early. So, okay. WIPS. I had a whole 3 WIPS this time. Oh, I had another question. I just remembered. Somebody asked me, and let's see. Somebody asked me where I got my project bags. Well, I just got those 4. The others that I have are these big ones, and they have the flat, kind of a flat bottom. They hold more. I got these through the Fiberlicious lady. She doesn't have, like I said, she's closed right now, and she's not sending anything out. But I will bet that as soon as she gets settled in on the East Coast, she'll have more of these. And she does different sizes too. They're not cheap, but they're very well made. So check them out. Anyway, that's where I get mine. I know there's a lot of project bag people out there, but that's where I've gotten them. And I've just kind of waited for a sale and bought one each time. I only have like 4 of them. Oh, and I won one in a contest too. I wait till there's a sale and get a little bit of money off. So, okay. WIPS. I only have 3. I started the Coffee Quaker. I worked on it for, I believe, oh shoot, I got stuff all over the place here. Where'd my calendar go? Here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. A couple of those days I was sick, so I hardly got any stitching done at all. And I had a needy kitty, but who's feeling much better. thanks everybody for checking on her. And I'm doing this so different from most everybody else. I'm using Fiberlicious cotton threads, and I just picked out a bunch that I liked. And I think it's going to be so cool. Very different. But I wanted to use these threads. I've got a bunch of them, and I'd never tried them before. So I love these. Highly recommend. Heck, I highly recommend anything from the Fiberlicious lady. I love all her stuff. So I have that. Then I worked on, where am I? My mini Heaven's Window by Heaven and Earth Designs. I didn't take a picture of what it was before, but I worked on this for 9 days, and I think I got like this done and a couple of rows, at least one row up here, because these go really fast. So that's what I've gotten done on that. I am loving this. Love that. And then the other thing I worked on was my chatelaine, which, where did it go? Oh, here it is. And this one, it's in my frame, and I didn't want to loosen it up or anything. So I'm going to attempt, did a little video before I had to move it in the frame. So I'm going to attempt to put that in here so you can see the whole thing. Okay, I think that worked. But anyway, I will show you what I have on the frame here. Whoops, dropping stuff. So, and I have the batting on here to protect the beads when I roll it up. But this is so much fun. I wish that you could all see the sparkle. It is magnificent. So I have set myself, I think I told you, the lofty goal of finishing this year. And I've kind of worked out that what I'm going to need to do on it is work on it approximately 10 days a month to be able to finish it. So that's what I'm going to be doing next month too. So those were my 3 WIPs. I told you, as long as I'm working on these, it's going to be pretty slim pickings here. My May plans will be, I'm doing a mini Maynia, basically, because I had already committed to working on the Mini Heaven's Window, a stitch along for that. And it's a new group. I checked with the admin, and she said it was fine for me to comment and give the name of the group. And what it is it's the name of the group is kind of a mouthful. It's Full Coverage Cross Stitch BAPS Anonymous. And what it is for folks that do any kind of large full coverage pieces. They have to be, I think, over 200 stitches by 200 stitches. So I had committed, they're doing a sale the first week of May, starting today. And everybody just stitches on whichever BAPs they have and keeps track of their stitches. So we're doing that just for fun. There's not very many of us yet, but if you're interested, go check her out. I made sure that it was okay if I mentioned the name. And if you have trouble, let me know, and I will point you in the right direction. And then I am doing what I'm calling my mini Maynia. And that will be starting my 2 new purchases. That will be starting the trucks for Max and Humble and Kind for my husband. There's no rush on the trucks. It's not a gift or anything like that. It'll just be whenever it gets done. But I'll bet I could get a truck or 2 done. I'm going to work on either of those, both of those, for 3 days each in May. Then I'm going to work on my chatelaine for 10 days. And then one WIP that I'm bringing out is the 3 Little Words series by Lizzie Kate. These. I'm not very good at this, aren't I? So I have one of them done. I'll bring it out just to show you here real quick. And I'd like to maybe get another one of them done. I'm going to do it all in one long one. So I'd like to get one more of those done. They actually go pretty quick. I did not allocate a number of days for this one. I'm going to work on this one the end of the month. I may just keep going on it and work on it for like a week, or I could start something else. Well, Halloween thing is calling to me. I love that fabric. So who knows? We will we'll worry about that when we come to it. I think, oh, okay. One other thing that I have been remiss in not talking about. Probably 2 months ago, there was a conversation on Stitch Mania about needle minders and their possible effect on computers, which I know nothing about. Other people know much more about that. But there was also some comments about their reaction to, or any problems that they could cause relating to pacemakers and ICDs, which is an implanted cardiac defibrillator. And I have one of those. You can see my scar? Yeah. I got one of those in 2015 when I was diagnosed with non-ischemic cardiac myopathy. So I've had that, no problems, thank goodness. It's a pain to go through airport security, but we just deal with it, and I take a lot of deep breaths when we're going through there. Anyway, people were talking about these strong magnets, and because they can affect how these work. And so last month when I was at my cardiologist, I asked him, and first of all, he was like, he kind of poo-pooed it and said, no, there's no problem or anything. And I said, well, they're like really strong magnets. And some people have like hundreds of these things. And so could they deactivate my device? And he says, well, how close does it come to your actual device, which is like right down in here? And I said, well, you know, it's like this. It's not very far. So what he said was, next time I go in, which will be in June, to bring a couple of them with me. And at that time, I will also be meeting with the representative for the company that makes the ICD. And what they're going to do is they're going to test it. They'll take one or a couple of the needle minders, and they're going to put it up close to me and see how close it has to be for it to deactivate my device. And then they can start it up again. Because it's all done wirelessly, electronically. It's pretty amazing. So when they do that, I will let everybody know. But I just thought that was really interesting. I personally don't think that I'd want to be in a room with like hundreds of them just because of the, I don't know, whatever you call it. Would not make me real comfortable, but I have like, I don't know, 20 of them, and that I'm okay with that. But I'm just curious now to see how close they have to be before it does something to it. I will let you know. So that was the other thing. Okay, one other request I had from Aubrey Bree was to show her my Desiderata sampler, which she had been seeing hanging on the wall. So I took it down. And somebody else, I think, had asked about this too. I'm going to hopefully take it to be framed next week, maybe. You can see my rookie mistake in my, how in the hell did I do that? In my placement on the fabric? Holy smokes. Anyway, hopefully he can work around that. But let me just, I'm going to have to stand up to show you part of this. Letitia has just brought hers out. Sorry, I had to stand up. And is working on hers. It's so fun. I loved this lettering. Absolutely love the lettering. And the specialty stitches and the silks. And when you actually get into it, man, it goes really, really quickly. Now, as most of you know, if you've watched for any length of time, that bottom part is Hardanger. It's cut. And I had never done that before. Scared the daylights out of me. No, I'm not going to swear about it this time. Don't worry. But yeah, it was, that part was really scary. But I think they came out okay. I'm pretty proud of them. So I'll have to talk to the framer about what we can put behind it so that kind of gets shown off a little bit. So Aubrey Bree, I hope that's what you were, hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions about it, let me know. It's an out of print pattern. I have already passed on my pattern to somebody. You can find it every once in a while on eBay. That's how I found mine. Just keep looking. I don't have mine anymore, I'm sorry. So, but it's going to good use. Right, Adele? So, it was wonderful to do. Very fun. All right. So that was everything I had, except I decided I was going to show some of my things. So I'm going to show you my 3 finished Teresa Wenslers that I have. And one of them has a funny story. I'm going to show that one first. A couple weeks ago, Trisha at 3L Threads had found a binder in I think it was in a thrift store or something, with a whole bunch of patterns. She had some great patterns in there. Anyway, one of them was a Teresa Wensler that I have never seen anybody else do. And it was the Welcome pattern. Well, I've done it. I have it. I yelled at the screen when I saw that, Teresa. Or not Teresa, Trisha. Trisha, sorry. So anyway, I have this one. I don't believe this one was that difficult. I mean, it's a lot of blended colors like all of hers. Not a lot, not a humongous amount of backstitch on this one, but it struck me because she has that pattern, and I haven't, like I said, I've never seen anybody else do this one before. So yeah, that one I did. I got this framed when we first got here, so that's been 12 years. So I probably did this about 13 years ago. Then the other ones, I know, I think I've shown this one before, was the carousel. And it's been up on my wall. I know people have seen this. Lots of back stitching with a little bit of krennic, and, you know, all blended threads. Now, if I was going to do this now, does this even have, it has no beads. I would add some beads to it if I was doing it again, but, and that one I want a ribbon. Oh, I want a ribbon in 2003 for this one. Aren't I smart? I wrote it on the back. So this was in 2003 that I won at the county fair where I lived in California. And then my pride and joy, and I know there's some other people that have done this one, but it was just, at this time I was a one project at a time girl, not like now. But this is her Millennium piece. And all of the Earth and the comet and all of the planets, along with the skin on the two guys, is all 1/1. And I remember keeping track of that. Earth took me 6 months to do. All 1/1. I think this took me probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years to do. So, and I love the framing. The blue is not a matte, it's silk. The lady that did it for me in California has retired. I'm so unhappy because I would have sent her. She did a wonderful job. She was a stitcher herself. So she really knew what she was doing when it came to mounting and lacing and all of that stuff. So those are my 3 Teresa Wenslers. My beading on this is pitiful. Up there by the planets, the stars are all beads, but I don't care. There's no way I'm fixing it or anything, so. I think that was it. Way longer than I thought it was going to be, but isn't that always the way? So I'm going to let you guys go. I've got some errands to run, and then I'm going to start stitching on my Haid. And I will talk to you guys all soon. Remember to love what you stitch and stitch what you love. I'll talk to you soon. If you have any other questions, put them down below. Bye. Talk to you later.